All right, Jeff Zimmerman here, Fight Hype, here with Shushu Carrington in Vegas. How you doing, Shushu?
It's fight week, Canelo Crawford. What can I say, man? It's crazy. You know, I'm super excited just to be a part of it. I'm super blessed, and I just can't wait for tomorrow night.
So the weigh-ins were today, man. Did you see anything at the weigh-ins that makes your decision go one way or the other? Who do you like?
Bud looks in super shape. Both of these guys, they just look super ready. You could tell they have respect amongst one another. But, you know, I'm going Bud all the way. I feel like he has the capabilities. You know, he has the deep bag in order to, you know, stay in there with Canelo and honestly win decisively. But I definitely don't think that it's going to be easy. But I'm just really interested to see how the fight is going to go out.
When did this shift take place? Because before the fight, before the fight got announced, everyone's like, there's no way in hell this, going up 3 weight classes, the smaller guy and all that. But now there's a lot of Crawford backers.
You know, to be honest, I mean, I never thought that. I never felt like Bud was too small. Like once, I know Bud and I've, kind of play around with him from time to time and kind of get a feel of how strong he is. I'm like, yeah, like, he can't hang with those type of guys that's in that weight class. So I feel like at this point right now, people are just seeing that he can get the weight up and look good still there. And on top of that, with his skills, it's gonna be a recipe for a great fight. And I just feel like at this point right now, everybody's just ready to see the best of the best to showdown.
How do you think the fight's gonna end?
I think Bud's gonna win by unanimous decision. Definitely, I think he's gonna win by unanimous decision. I think the only way that Canelo could win is by knockout. I think that honestly, that's the only way I think he can win. I think the person that's in control of that fight will be Terrence Crawford.
So let's talk about you a little bit, man.
Yes,
your last fight on ESPN, another impressive win.
Thank you.
When are you going to get that big shot?
Man, that's not a question for me to be asked. That's a question for the champions to be asked. I've been calling all of these guys out, and every single time I call them out, it's like, oh, I'll fight him when he gets a belt. How the heck am I gonna get a belt if all of y'all are telling me that y'all gonna fight me until I get a belt? Y'all not giving me my shot. It's kind of just a cop-out type of move, and they all use that statement just so they could just kind of dodge, from the questions of fighting me and whatnot. It makes no sense to me, but it is what it is. I'll have my time to shine, and everything's on God's timing.
Espinoza was there at the fight, and you called him out. What would that fight look like?
Man, that would be a great fight. It's honestly, bro, like, you see how we having a fight like Canelo and Crawford? I want to be a part of fights like that in myself in my career, and that's just something that I've been craving and kind of, been making a real stink about it. Just making a lot of noise about making the big fights happen. It just seems like a lot of these guys, they're not trying to make these big fights happen because they just moving like real careful, too careful for my liking. Like if you want to really become a champion, be respected as that, fight the best of the best, and you'll get the respect that you deserve.
I interviewed Keith Thurman the other day. He's got that fight with Fundora, almost kind of a similar, like a giant, right? And he said he would have to go into the fire to fight a guy, because he's got to get close enough.
He has to, 100%. I feel like anybody that's fighting a guy that tall, the advantage that you have is fighting in the inside because most of the time their punches would be going over your head. You got to kind of have like a Mike Tyson little approach, you know what I'm saying? So I think anybody that fight a guy like Fundora or like Espinoza has to have an approach like that.
One last thing here with Shushu Carrington. We're here at the Fountain Blue fight week, day before the big fight tomorrow night, Canelo Crawford. Looks like finally Shakur and maybe Teofimo are going to be squaring off. Break down that fight, man.
Again, the best fighting the best. This is one of the fights that the fans have been craving for, and it's finally happening. I'm just happy that the fans are getting their just due, and it's about that time. All of the beef has been marinating. You know what I'm saying? It's time to it's dinner time at this point, and everybody's ready to dive in. So that's a great fight, and I really can't wait to see how that's going to turn out.
And real quick, 2 real quick hitters: Jake Paul, Tank, Mayweather, Tyson. Are you good with these kind of fights?
I mean, it's entertainment. Listen, this is called sports entertainment. Let's not get it confused. Like, granted, I understand boxing is super prestigious and this is science, but at the same time, it's fun too, man. You know what I mean? I love the fights that's happening with Jake Paul and Tank and Mike Tyson and Mayweather. You got a lot of these guys that's bringing in that feel of like a spectacle, not just a boxing fight. It's a spectacle. This is the fun that boxing has been kind of missing for a long period of time. And you know, people want to say boxing is dead, but hey, it's looking well and alive to me.
All right, man. Shoot, Carrington, man. Best of luck. Look forward to your next fight.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thanks.